Alright everyone, welcome back to another Off the Conversation here in Automotive Anatomy. So today I wanted to speak on being open-minded. What does being open-minded? To me, being open-minded means in life you're going to have conversations, you're going to have encounters, you're going to have X, Y, or Z situations with different people. Different backgrounds, different political beliefs, different religion, different sexuality, even sports. Obviously, at the top of this recording, there's a lot of, I guess, social movements for some people. For other people, there may be just disturbances, whatever the case may be, whatever applies to you. Now, I'm not going to get into that because if I get into that, half of you would like me, half of you would dislike me. That's just the way it is. But I do want you to be open-minded. I do want you to have an open opinion, and that's something that I've been trying to practice. So, obviously, Instagram, social media in essence, the internet, it doesn't make us angry. It doesn't make us... That's not the root of why we are the way we are. I think social media just gave us a platform, and that includes me. That's the reason why I'm able to have this conversation with whoever you are, and I thank you for tuning in. Me driving around, I do that, there's nothing special about them. But social media does provide us that opportunity for us to have a voice. Whether you like the voice, dislike the voice, look up to the voice, I don't know. That's really up to you to decide. That's the reason why people tune in, right? If you don't like something, don't tune in. That's the reason why Joe Rogan has millions of listeners to his podcast, because I truly believe that he's a very open-minded person. I've heard him interview different people, and he asks some good questions, and it keeps you engaged. And so I think I'm gonna say a lot of the people that listen to him are also very open-minded. Not to say that if you only, let's say with news, if you only listen to Fox, then you're bad. If you only listen to CNN, you're bad. If you only listen to whatever, you're bad. No. But I do believe that there is something about learning about different people. I do believe that there's so many opportunities for you to understand somebody else's, way of thinking. I'll give you an example. Most of the time, I get a lot of comments on, man, you drive through very nice areas. Yeah, man, I do. Do I live in the nice areas? No. Not to say that where I live is really bad, but there's definitely improvement. Now, why am I tying where I drive around with being open-minded? When you meet people, money doesn't care what, political view you have. Money doesn't care that, whatever. If you provide a service of whatever type of service, you will get compensated according to whatever service you're providing. Hence why, whether you want to like it or not, NBA players getting paid millions and millions of dollars, just like baseball players, and nurses get paid crap. One saving lives, doctors saving lives, others are bouncing a ball, per se. But they're bringing a service, which is entertainment, and I guess we value in a society, we value somebody scoring a buzzer beater more than we value somebody saving somebody else's life. That's a whole different conversation. But in essence, that's the idea that when I drive through these nice areas, I think to myself, man, people from different backgrounds live in this community. People with different stories. How do they get here? I would love to hear that. I would love to hear those conversations. Ask the questions. And so then what happened? You were 19 and you came to this country. I have a very close friendship of mine who owns his own business, and he came over from Europe. And he's one of the most serious individuals I know. And whenever I have a conversation, it's kind of hard to have a conversation because he's just so serious all the time. But he likes to joke around, and he owns this beautiful, beautiful home. And when he tells me, Gus, I came over from Scotland, zero English, $0. I started working in construction. Then I ended up, kind of starting my own thing. And it sounds so easy, but it's not, And now he has his construction company and makes very, very good money. And I started thinking to myself, like, what makes him different than me? I would say he even had less opportunities than I did, and look where he's at. And so when you have a conversation with somebody else, I feel like that's the problem. If you're not willing to listen to what they have to say, you are going to miss a lot of valuable information. Not just on money, not just on business, but on family, on different topics that you may be having questions or maybe wondering. So I've had conversations with people that are very opinionated about, I don't know, let's say a president. But you have to understand, like, where are they coming from? Why do they have that mentality? The point that I have a problem with is when somebody explains to you, this is why I believe, this is the reason why I believe the way I believe, and the other person just disregards it. Oh, well, that's good, but I'm still gonna, like, dude, you're missing the point. Someone's been vulnerable and they're telling you, hey, you know what? I grew up like this, and these are my morals, these are my values, this is the way I grew up. You guys have to understand that most of the time, people will not really understand something unless it hits them on a personal level. So I'll give you as an example. Let's pretend like somebody who's dealing with an issue with weight. They're too skinny and they can't gain weight. Now, I've always had the opposite. I try to lose weight and I just don't do what I'm supposed to be honest. It's not like the equation is hard. It's eat less or eat appropriately, exercise, it'll happen, drink water. But I love my cake or whatever, right? So I still eat. Who am I to say, oh, that's easy, that's an easy problem for you to have. Oh, poor me, you can't gain weight. But it might be a real struggle that they have. They have body image, self-esteem issues. And if they're vulnerable and they say, no, man, like, this is like, I legit don't like the way my wrist looks. I don't like the way my elbow looks. And you disregard it. One, you're just being close-minded. You're not actually listening to what they're saying and understanding, like, oh, crap, this is something they're real battle with. The same thing. I've talked about it before when it comes to guns. I don't own guns myself. I don't really care much about guns. That's just not, I don't know, it's just, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong. They're amazing. And the technology behind them is pretty cool. Like, do I want you to own guns? If you want, just don't hurt people. That's my idea. That goes along the lines of anything. Whatever you want to do to your body, to yourself, don't hurt other people. Don't try to impose your ideas on somebody else. I'm cool with it. Just be peaceful. Do I enjoy watching some of the videos when some of my buddies, you know, they go and get their guns and they're shooting in their shooting range or whatever they're doing? Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Or when I'm near them and they start talking about, like, oh, this is the type of gun that I have, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm interested in learning about it. It doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, I'm just going to dislike you because you like guns. And whether you're using your Second Amendment to prove a point or not, that's not me to judge. Like, I know for a fact I would lose on so many great opportunities and great people if I was to just be so close-minded and say, oh, you like guns? Nah, that's not my thing. I'm not going to interview you. No, we're focusing on the cars. Where I do kind of draw a line is if you're doing inappropriate stuff that doesn't really go with my values, such as street racing to the max, where you're really putting people at danger, donuts, takeovers. You're not going to see me interview anybody doing a takeover. That's not what I want to show on my channel. You know, sexuality or whatever the case may be. Some dude is like posting all these different things or degrading women, and here I am interviewing him because he has a sick ass car. I have an issue with that, right? I can still hold a conversation with that person, and maybe he can say, dude, you know, this is how I grew up, and my dad, this is the way he treated women, or, you know, whatever. And I'll listen to him and be like, okay, cool, that makes sense. Oh, okay, that's where he's coming from. Oh, he's not trying to be a DICK. He's just, oh, okay. But I cannot just shut him down and say, oh, well, he's wrong. And that's inappropriate. I'm just not going to listen to him. Now, I do believe that there's boundaries, obviously. And that goes for both ways. If somebody's trying to impose their opinion on you 24/7, I don't think that's even healthy. If somebody is trying to be disrespectful to you, I don't think that's healthy. I think that, yeah, there has to be doors that need to be closed. And I've done it in the past. And it doesn't feel good. But I think that at some point you have to have respect for yourself and respect for the other person and say, you know what, I don't agree with the way you're treating me or the way you're getting your message across, even though we already had a conversation. You know, I don't think we need to have any more communication. Now, then it happens. But it's just so many people are just so walking around, you know, they're looking at their phone. The algorithm is feeding them what they want to see. You take time to comment something negative of somebody else's post, and you go about your life. That's just creating stress on you guys. Be open-minded. Stop focusing on the negativity of others. Again, don't put yourself in a situation where you're super uncomfortable, but then don't go to a place where there's people that believe something different than you and try to ridicule them or make them feel bad. Because you don't know some of the struggles that they faced. And again, it's not just about color. Like, we all face different challenges. You can be white, male, making millions of dollars. Somebody could be like, oh, what obstacles can he have? Well, you don't know his life. He could have a lot of obstacles, as a matter of fact. And if you're not open-minded to listening or to even understanding or to be accepting of somebody else's beliefs or ideas, even after they explain to you, hey, this is the reason why I am, this is the reason why, oh, okay, cool, then think about it. Because I believe it does help you become a better person. It does help you understand the other side, per se. And I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get rid of, the other side. We're trying to minimize the left with the right, the up with the down, the white with the black. We're trying to minimize that. We're trying to just accept people for who they are. And I can tell you guys, I've met a lot of people in this car community, and obviously we only get to see what we get to see on their social media. Once you get to sit down with a person like I've done many times, holy crap, it's day and night, man. And they'll be the first one to tell me. You know, I'm not gonna put names out there, but they'll be like, dude, my social media, I post and that's it. It's like, nah. And some people have this idea of me. They've never met me, and they have this idea of me, and I hear it from other people. Oh, that guy's such a blah blah. I'm sure eventually you're gonna hear about Gus. Oh, Gus, that fool's just wacky, you know, etc. I don't know, whatever. But once you sit down with the person, you're like, oh wait, so that's not how you work. You didn't grow up silver spoon? Oh wait, so you post all this stuff, but you actually work at a bank? Like, you know, you don't dress fancy. It's like, yeah, because social media is only giving you one side of the coin, and that includes news, that includes Twitter, that includes YouTube. Be open-minded before you say something negative, because that comes around. If I go and say something negative, somebody's gonna do it to me. Not the best way of living. So tell me a little bit about you guys. Tell me, how have you guys practiced being open-minded? Does it work? Does it not work? You know, we're not always gonna agree. We're not always gonna agree, but at least if we try and we can minimize the gap or the other side, I think that's worth a shot. Alrighty, like I said, we always go for the car and we stay for the person. That actually means way more in this conversation than any other one, right? Thank you guys so much for the support. For those who have purchased a shirt, I really appreciate it. It really does help. And just keep moving forward. That's the only thing I can say. We'll catch you guys in the next one.